We all have negative thoughts that play on our mind day in and day out, but we need to catch them before they set in and bury themselves in the deep recesses of our mind. Because these tiny little time bombs might not seem like a big deal now, but in time they grow, they fester, and eventually shatter your dreams. There's so much stuff we can't control in our lives, and yet, with practice, taking charge of our own thoughts is one of the easiest things we can control. So it makes sense to take control of everything we can in order to start living the life we desire. You might say, oh, it's impossible to stay positive all the time. It's just not realistic. Well, I am not saying that the world is all unicorns and rainbows, but what I am suggesting is at least we can take some control back of our thoughts by being mindful of how we think, what we say, and how we act. Here are the list of 12 most evil thoughts that you should never allow to stay in your head. Evil thought number 1. I have had my heart broken too many times to love again. You may have had your heart broken, but that means you are not with the right person. By learning just how much to open up emotionally to someone, you will learn more and more about yourself and exactly how much you are owed. You are owed so much more than you think. So stop giving people discounts, but don't give up on love. When you learn to accept yourself for being the amazing person you are, nobody will be able to break your heart. You will know instinctively when it is time to go your separate ways from someone. That includes friends, family, and the people you love. Evil thought number 2. I am not good enough. Effectively, what you are saying here is, I can't be bothered to take the time and become good enough. That sounds a bit harsh, but think about it for a second. Nobody was good enough until they put in the time and effort to become good enough. This goes for everything in your life, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, become an actor, start a business, or impress that beautiful girl in your class. You are good enough to be where you are right now. If you want to be in an elevated position in a specific area of your life, then you keep on working at it. You will find that when you get to the top of your specific area, there will always be a way to become better. So you are good enough. Instead of saying, I am not good enough, a better affirmation to use then would be, I am getting better at XYZ. For example, I am getting better at video making. I am getting better in acting. I am getting better in my business skills. I am getting better improving my personality. Evil thought number 3. I don't have enough time to do that. Okay, if we are being really honest here, you are really saying, this is not important enough for me to give it my time. You make time for what you prioritize. Don't ever make the excuse of not having enough time, as that is insulting to yourself and to the person you are making the excuse to. Evil thought number 4. I wasn't born with the talent to do that. Nobody is born knowing how to play the piano, or knowing how to play golf, or how to create videos. Yes, some people have a natural aptitude for doing certain things, but they are not born with the knowledge. If you really want to do something in life which requires a degree of skill, and I mean really want it, you need to put in the effort to master that skill. Do not think about how well you are doing or what the outcome is. Keep working at your skill until you master that skill. Evil thought number 5. I will put my dream on hold until I have done XYZ. If you are not living your own dreams, you are helping someone else live theirs. Your dreams are an important part of living life to the full, and without them, you might just wake up on your 70th birthday and think, shit, I wish I had chased my dream instead of working all those hours for someone else. Don't put off your dreams until something else happens. For example, I will go on my dream world tour when the kids are grown. Now the fact is, your kids will always be kids until the day you die. Evil thought number 6. What if I fail? So what if you fail? At least you have learned something along the way. Not doing something you want to do for fear of failure is failure itself. Ask yourself this one question every time you think a thought like this. What is the worst that can happen? When you have figured out what the worst is, then you will probably see it's not actually that bad. Now when you have figured out what the worst that can happen, Now you have to flip and ask, what's the best thing that can happen if I do this? Evil thought number 7, it's too difficult. Nobody ever grows inside their comfort zone. What that means is, if it's not challenging, then it's not worth having. You won't learn anything. Imagine for a second, everything you wanted in life came to you easily. You wanted to own a BMW car, boom, you got it. You wanted to have 10 million views in your video, boom, you get it on your first try. Pretty soon, you'd become bored with life and nothing would challenge you. We need things to be difficult in order to appreciate the journey we took to reach our goals. Evil thought number 8, they were so lucky to get to where they are today. This is a biggie. I used to think this a lot before I started my YouTube channel. I would look at people like Sandeep Maheshwari, Sadhguru and other successful YouTubers and think, yeah, but he is already a famous person. Or, yeah, but he got the personality to pull that off. Or other excuses for me not being able to become a success. As soon as I realized just how hard these people worked to get to where they are today, I changed my whole way of thinking and got off my ass and worked harder until things started happening. Evil thought number 9, my life is shit. Please get off the poor me train. And believe me, I have been on that train many times in my life. You have so much to be thankful for, it's just not real. You might say, you don't know my situation. And that's true. But whatever way you look at it, you can always find a ton of reasons to be grateful for the life you have. Evil thought number 10, it's just not the right time. So many relationships, businesses, dreams and goals have been broken with this one little thought. There's never a good time to start anything. The important thing is to start it with a good heart and keep going and give it your very best shot. Evil thought number 11, I am too old. No, you are not. Starting from Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, you can also find countless examples just by doing a simple Google search about the people who became successful later in life. Evil thought number 12, people don't like me. Sorry, you are not a mind reader. You can't possibly know if people like you or not. This is all to do with feeling uncomfortable in your own skin. Work on yourself so that you are so comfortable with yourself that you just don't care what others think of you. At least this way, you are being true to yourself. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think about the list and add any more that you have come across. Thanks for watching. More wisdom, more solution, better life.